Everyone got a drink out there? All right. Where are we at on the... Are we at the first slide? Is it me? Okay. Gotcha. Technology. I draw everything, so computer is just frightening. Indians dance on dawn's highway bleeding. Ghosts crowd the young child's fragile eggshell mind. This is a picture of me when I was 3 years old, sitting on my cousin Kenny's bed. He corralled me in his room, my father in tow with the camera. Put the headphones on me, heavy metal music. What I'm staring at isn't my father, it's actually Derek's Riggs, Killers, Iron Maiden poster that was on my cousin Kenny's wall. This is the first image that I ever remember seeing. I didn't intend that to be funny, but I think it explains a lot. I was completely shocked looking at this thing and just like shaking my head, scared out of my mind. But I knew that I wanted to recreate it. I didn't understand it, but that image resonated with me for years. When I was young, I got sick. Not terminally ill, but I had a really, really high fever. I was prone to strep throat quite a bit, and I remember waking up in my bedroom and the room being extremely small, just kind of sitting on my bed and stuffed into my room, closing my eyes, scared, and opening them, and then having the perspective shift from worm's eye to bird's eye. The room was huge. I remember seeing and hearing Indians. That's just a really weird, like, honest to goodness observation, and something that stuck out in my mind when I sat down and thought about things that have shaped me. That's definitely one of them. My dad was an artist as well, but he was kind of like a closet artist, I guess. My dad was actually a butcher. I think that he should have pursued art. He built a lot of things out of wood and still does today, just for his own entertainment, family entertainment. I think that I got the majority of my talent, my foot in the door from my dad. We built a pine wood derby car when I was in Cub Scouts, and my dad used to bring me these little gifts, these little cars, and he'd give them to me. I'd play with them for a while, and then he'd take them apart and paint them custom. You know, that's kind of like where my car fetish kind of comes from, I think. But one day, before the Pinewood Derby, I asked my dad to paint flames on the car we just built, and he said, nope, like, you're going to do it now. He didn't want to be the kind of dad that showed up to the event with like something that dad had built, you know, and not the kid. So I sat and flamed my Pinewood Derby car, did a pretty good job, and was really satisfied. He pushed me, and that was really cool. So that's another memory I have that sticks out that I think that shaped me. Now, I got to sixth grade camp. That was pretty wild. First time away from my parents. The kid that bunked above me was from Carlsbad, I believe, a little bit more advanced in culture than El Cajon. Incidentally, I'm from El Cajon, and I live there now. I moved back, went to school in Laguna Beach, and I just feel that it's right to have a little bit of property and can screw around a little bit more. So this kid drops down this Walkman. You know, we're supposed to be sleeping, and he's like, hey, you got to listen to this. And he gives me the tape cover, and I sit there and listen to Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, something that's probably in vogue or coming back in vogue now. the cover was Robert Williams' painting that Axl Rose had seen in a gallery and asked to use. It was later moved to the inside cover, and a parental advisory logo was slapped on it by Tipper Gore. You might remember Tipper. She's Al Gore's wife. She worked for the PRMC, the Parent Music Resource Center. And their main job was to completely destroy anything musical. And artistic content. So those are a few things that I can remember as a kid that stick out and I think have kind of helped shape me. I think the topic is shock today. I think shock, it's a kind of trauma, or it can be kind of joy, like Christmas morning, opening a gift, like shocked your parents actually, or Santa Claus, actually bought you or made you what you asked for. That can be kind of shocking. I think it defines us at an early age. It took me 30 years to realize what I really was and what I'd like to do with my life. I'm kind of a late bloomer. Finally doing like what I want to do, what I feel I should be doing. So my name's Dane Danner. I'm a husband, father of 2. I'm a surfer. I like to skateboard. I'm a designer, and I'm not an artist. Let me explain that. We went to Robert Williams' Mr. Bitchin', and this goes back to the Appetite for Destruction album cover. Mr. Bitchin' movie premiere, which was a story about his life, got there to Newport Beach. It was a really kind of a, gooey situation. There was a bunch of art people walking around. We're a couple garage kids, skateboards in hand, and I spot Robert Williams in the courtyard, and nobody's around him because nobody knows who he is. I walked out there just shaking, and I was just like, hi, I'm an illustrator too. And the dude just went off on me. I'm not an illustrator. An illustrator takes direction and makes other people's visions come to life. An artist acts of free will and creates whenever and whatever he or she desires with no direction from the outside world. Okay, so I create because people tell me what they want, and I pull it out of their head. And that's my job as an illustrator. I do not consider myself an artist. Everything I've created until recently, well, actually not even recently, has been of other people's will, done by my hand. I like to be directed. I like to pull ideas out of people's heads. It's a shocking thing when you sit in front of a client and they're like, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, well, I'm glad it took 6 weeks to get us here. And look, I won't bill you for my hourly rate since we went past, the 3 rounds of revisions because you're cool. Okay, so I missed a couple slides. This is Robert Williams. It's not Robin Williams, who's probably also a great artist. This guy's a little bit more lowbrow. This is a Hot Rod magazine spread. He likes to tell stories. He can draw. He's very technically in tune. For me, he just embodies what an illustrator should be. Robert Williams founded the magazine Juxtapose. I mean, he's right there. Worked with Zap Comics, worked with Rick Griffin. Anything Southern California, he had his hands in. Ed Roth, building custom cars, like you name it. He's got an incredible backstory. I would suggest if you don't know who he is, write his name down and go Google the heck out of that because it's pretty cool. So let's take a step back. This is Chris Ward. He's my favorite surfer. Be careful of your passions becoming your career. Here, Chris is sitting in 2-foot shit alongside some other competitor and not really reaching his potential. And I'm sure, the next surf trip would be really, really good. Ooh. And I'm dying, so. Anyways, let's talk about my background a little bit. We'll just leave Chris up there for a second. He's not very happy with the judges at this point. I graduated college in Laguna Beach as an illustrator. I went to work for an architecture firm rendering street scenes. At the architecture, you can't really grow in an architecture firm if you don't have your architect's license or like moving in that direction. So it just was a bummer to be on the low man on the totem pole. I needed to find something that I could excel in. So I bounced around 3 years just taking graphic design jobs, like just trying to become proficient in the program. So I did 8 years in commercial real estate in La Jolla in the basement on end design, pulling locator maps and cleaning the cracks off of building photos. And because of that, I didn't have any portfolio whatsoever. Well, I mean, I guess I could get hired at other commercial real estate firms, but then my boss said, it's mandatory that you have an AIGA membership, and I got it and went on the website and just flooded it with my drawings, and Don Hollis saw it, and I went and interviewed for a job at Hollis Brand Culture and got the job, and that's when I learned about type. I'd taken 3 type classes and learned absolutely nothing. Don beat me every day. Man, every day. Like, it was the best education that I could get paid for. The economy hit, all that stuff, it's all behind us. Love Don. I met Tyler Cristobal. When I first saw Tyler work on the computer, it was like he was playing a piano. When you guys graphic design or use a computer, like, it should look like you're playing concert piano. Like, you should know your keystrokes by now. Like, it should look beautiful. It should look like you're making music, and that's what Tyler looked like to me, and it was very intimidating. I couldn't keep up pulling those menus down. I just pull, drag, click, like it wasn't working. So Tyler also gave me an education. The economy hit, got laid off, had my son. It was funny when I was laid off. A Jackass TV series on MTV was on, and I think I watched every single episode of that. And I realized that skateboarders can make a living beyond skateboarding, and that people can make their own scene. Those guys definitely did. And it was just cool to watch them grow from, the magazines to like MTV. Okay, that's enough rambling. So after commercial real estate and working in various design firms here and there, I landed a job at Consortium Holdings. It's currently where I reside. It's a perfect fit. I've had some experience in the restaurant industry in terms of graphic design. I've had some experience drawing. Everything I've done just kind of leads up to the job that I have now. We have many venues. Okay. I wear many hats at Consortium Holdings. I'm not afraid to pick up a set of tools and fix what needs to be fixed on site. It's a problem. If it's not working for all of us. It's not making money for us. It's not pushing us forward. So if you looked at my LinkedIn account, you'd see that my new job title is no title, nothing above my pay grade. That doesn't mean I make a ton of money. I'm paid very well for what I do and the schedule I keep, but I hate that saying. That's above my pay grade. I can't do that. That's above my pay grade. You guys should never say that. You should always be hungry to move on and pick something else up new and do it. Just take care of it. LinkedIn's kind of a funny social media thing. I don't really get it, and I'm on there just because I feel like I should be on there, but here's something shocking for you. At the bottom, it says, serious inquiries only for my summary, for my explanation for myself. No spec work. Fuck you, pay me. Yeah, man, if you don't pay me and I work for you, like, I just am gonna call some friends that are pretty shady and cash in some favors. I put my time in, you need to pay, okay? I haven't had this problem in a long time. But spec work too, if you're young and you're looking to put stuff in your portfolio and you think the company is gonna be the next Google, yeah, sure, go ahead, design them a logo, that's cool. Someday you'll get paid. Probably not, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing free work. You should just populate your portfolio with it and move on. Okay, you probably had some free time anyways if you're doing that sort of thing, so take advantage. People reach out to me all the time on Instagram. It's pretty interesting. Like, it's like this collecting these professionals in order to make yourself look cool. I did it for a while and just didn't. It's just weird. Here I'm trying. I don't know if you can read this. I'll read it to you. It's kind of funny. It's kind of egotistical. Hello, I'm the designer/illustrator for our salon, Tafazoli. I have no title because nothing is above my pay grade. I'm also allowed and encouraged to keep my freelance work with various core action sports brands, as this work only keeps my skill set sharp. Even though I try to maintain a primitive attitude, I enjoy a modern work relationship with CH. I'm not required a babysitter so long as my methods are true, transparent, and on deadline. But enough about me. What do you like to do? That was kind of a response to someone mining information about my boss and the company that I work for. So just be careful out there. Just stick to Instagram. Just get rid of everything else and just post pictures of your work and just enjoy the applause. Let's run through some CH projects real quick. This beautiful letterpress project that a lot of people at Consortium had their hands in was built by Clove Street Press. Yeah. There's a commercial for you that's $500, as we discussed, okay? This project kept this dude really busy. Like, Daniel threw everything he possibly could at this that I spec'd, blind hits, like foil. I tried to get the type Don Hollis as clean as I possibly could. It was really difficult because this is kind of a template. We had to throw other drinks in there, so I went with the best case scenario. We burned down Daniel's workspace. His Heidelberg caught fire from friction. But it's okay because we made a couple creative blogs and got duly noted, so keep an eye out for that. Typical, same sort of mechanical files. I got to use Rodine Red and PMS 172 metallic gold on this one. That's just how we roll. That was really exciting. Here's a tech pack that I use for squeegee prints for Consortium, another commercial. Wanos mean nothing. Baseball tees are rad. This amazing plate, when you're finished eating, you get to see my grotesque drawing. Dude, we're drawing and making tiki mugs now. It's just crazy. It's just a complete dream come true. Did some tile if you've been over to Dover. It's cool stuff. We have a good time. We just try and figure out the craziest way we can do something and just do it. So now I'm completely off the list here of things to say, and I'm just going to freestyle. This is crazy. I feel like there's a reason why burning alive is right above public speaking. Thanks. Thank you for that. Oh man, I look around this room and I feel like a complete idiot up here. There's so much talent in this room. There's so many people I respect. Thank you all for coming out here. I appreciate it. This dude is rad. He is just on some crazy campaign. He's just killing it. We're polar opposites. He's into thick lines. I'm into really thin lines. I obviously listen to a lot of Bill Hicks, obviously. If you don't know who Bill Hicks is, Google him, and I apologize. Bill would say, like, after his totalitarian rants about the government, that the dick jokes are on their way. So just be careful, just relax. The dick jokes are on their way. I like Jeff Grosso. He's amazing. He's an amazing speaker. His van series, Love Letters to Skateboarding, is very inspirational for me, probably not for you. Here he is in Streets of Fire, shaving his eyebrows off. That's very shocking. It's, other public speakers that I enjoy, Henry Rollins, okay, Ian MacKaye, all right. I've seen Henry's spoken word with my wife numerous times. It's always very interesting. Ian was in a band called Minor Threat. I love this. I have this bootleg shirt. Someone made a better one recently. This is Minor Threat is Black Sabbath. This is really intelligent. The only problem is in 1979, Black Sabbath had a cocaine budget of $75,000. So I think that's Greg Ginn sitting on the Pepsi box. And I just art direct this real quick. That should be a Coke box. You blew it. Whoa. Speaking of Black Flag, that's Greg Ginn back there playing guitar. I love punk rock music. Greg's wearing a Peace and Love guitar strap. It's kind of funny because it segues into him wearing the Grateful Dead t-shirt. Now, when you're in punk rock, hippies are the enemy, okay? But Greg's up there just shocking the shit out of everybody with his Grateful Dead t-shirt. Turns out he really liked the Grateful Dead, like a lot. And that's where Jeremy Dean comes in. Does anybody know who Jeremy Dean is? This is Jeremy Dean. We can discover the wonders of Black Flag. This is the most awesome graphic design I've seen to date. Okay, I'm sure there was a cease and desist, so Jeremy put out a new shirt. Everything's crossed out. I dig that. There's just so much artwork out there. Henry Rollins giving Glenn Danzig a back rub is just amazing. Like, just pull from what you know, and that'll help you. Okay, just stick to what you know. And this guy obviously knew Misfits and Black Flag and how funny it would be if they both got together and got married. But you be careful because, dude, you gotta leave Glenn Danzig alone. Everybody is just a dude. They're just normal people getting kitty litter and your groceries. And you gotta leave them alone, okay? Like Costanzag. Dude, that's just mean. Does anybody know what this is? Can anybody tell me what you shouldn't do in this thing? Does anybody? All right, I'll fill in the blank for you. Look closely. This is Jeremy Dean also. We had an office discussion about graffiti in our venues and around town. And, you know, you got to be thoughtful. This would stay around in our venue. Like, dude, you pee in a Dyson, it's so funny, you would get urine everywhere. It's just not a place, it's just thinking. Make sure you think. If you put artwork up around town, ask permission. If not, it better be artwork, okay? Not your logo or your brand or whatever. I'm guilty of it too, and then I saw the light, like, dude, why am I putting up, they're gonna ask me to speak at Creative Mornings. Like, here's some of my graffiti artwork. It's over at Coffee and Tea Collective, another commercial. You should go there and get your coffee. They're actually serving coffee right now. If you've enjoyed it, please come visit us again. The Consortium offices are in the back, in the aquarium type scenario. We have all sorts of cool stuff. Come bug me on there on Mondays. And speaking about graffiti, Shepard Fairey, who I've heard some negative things about lately. Look, when people get big, when people grow, you shouldn't hate them, okay? He's a little goony, but dude, he was here in San Diego putting stuff up, and you know what? He put this president into office. It's one of the reasons I voted for him. okay? I'm not really into politics, but I know what I like, and I like this. I don't care that the Associated Press put this picture out, and I don't care about the lawsuits. Dude, why don't you sit down and trace over this image and add these colors and see where you come out? This is pretty rad. The person that put this president into office is a felon. He's been arrested for his antics. It's pretty cool. I live in San Diego, and because of that, I go to the Casbah. I'm married and have 2 kids. We should get some applause. Sorry, I cut you off. The Casbah, man. I like Rocket from the Crypt because I'm from San Diego. I like everything John Reese. If you don't know who John Reese is, please go online and search John Reese. He's amazing. Here he is lighting a cigarette for G.G. Allin. Don't Google G.G. Allin. Okay, if you're not on the same wavelength with me, the dude pooed on stage and threw it at his audience, and they lined up to see it. Horrible, horrible human being. That's why this is the most shocking image to me. John standing there in a white t-shirt, lighting a cigarette for Satan. That's a little Bill Hicks there. Oh, here's John Reese playing with one of my favorite artists on guitar and in the New York Times, Rick Froberg, Rick Fork. Rick has a Battalion of Saints sticker on his guitar, which is really cool because Battalion of Saints is one of the first San Diego hardcore bands. Some of Froberg or Fork's work. Okay, some more fine, you know what, I'm sorry, I was a slide behind. Some of Rick's finer work. Drive Like Jehu played in the Oregon Pavilion this year, which was amazing. I missed it. It was a bummer. So yeah, I hope one day to be like Rick and be able to draw stuff for the New York Times. That would be amazing. But until then, I'm just trying to use my graphic design skills to kind of get around town, you know? It's not easy, and you got to cut corners wherever you can. Did you guys get that one? Never mind. I can't explain that one. It'll incriminate me. Okay, to round this out, let me give you a little work history. Before Consortium Holdings, before I took over in November, people ask me all the time, like, hey, you're the Consortium guy. You did all those logos. No. I'm the guy that picked up and pushed everything along, okay? Consortium has Edward from Jim Standard on El Cajon Boulevard to thank. Consortium has Bert Castillo to thank you. Chris Bowles, any of these guys here? Dude, you guys are rad. Like, following in your shoes is amazing. Mark Cruz, okay? When I took the job over, I took over the brands from those gentlemen, and I try really hard to carry those forward. This is a bachelor party t-shirt for Matty Cater, the art director of Vans. He doesn't work there anymore. I met him through my friend Clark Forrest, architect for Sofie Rubinas. Amazingly talented and good friend, probably best friend I have. Here's an example of a tech pack, not a tech pack, art direction I got from Vans. They cited some of my online stuff to make a shirt, and this is the shirt I made. It came out probably 2 years ago. It's pretty popular. We've seen it in Hawaii. We've seen it all over California. Anytime anybody has it on, I run up to him like a little kid and ask to take a picture of him with it. It's still a magical thing. I can't believe it happened. It's totally amazing. I went on to draw 20 t-shirts for them over a 3-year span. Matty quit to go off on his own, and they haven't called me since because the art directors kind of grab their dudes and they yank them in, you know. And I feel really fortunate that I was in the right place at the right time. I knew the right people, and they put me on the right people. And talent is just the foot in the door. There's so many talented people out there that can do, you know, just as amazing work. So I got really lucky, had a good run, and hopefully when they look at their sales numbers, the marketing team, they'll give me a call back. That would be rad. But until then, I continue to wear Vans because it's a tax write-off for me. Okay? And honestly, there was a van store in El Cajon when I grew up, and you get custom vans. It's the only thing I wore. It's the only thing I wear. Nothing's better than skating in them. You just don't want to skate in them fresh with brand new grip tape. That's the worst. You got to wear them around the office, take the edge off them. I don't wear anything else. And I'll close up this thing. Are we cool? I saw you walking. Are you walking? Not yet? I'm excited to get to the question round. Let me just run down real quick some art direction. Biltwell Helmets called me. They saw some of my van stuff. They were stoked. They asked me to come out on a couple motorcycle rides. That was cool. Biltwell Bill goes, hey man, I need a chick on a motorcycle. And I was like, you got it. Because, right? Like, he didn't mean like chick. Like, I don't draw chicks. I don't, yeah, man. Like, this is a kind of a funny story. My wife is getting a kick out of this one. I actually done some stuff in the past before for barbecues, and there was a pig involved, and I'm like, yeah, chick, that's cool. It's a breakfast, eggs, whatever. I got it. Dude, I got you. Okay. Bill's like, yeah, that's great, but we needed a chick. I don't like to objectify women. It was very difficult for me to draw this. This is probably my first figure study that I had to do for a company, but it turned out okay. I put that mirror in just the right location. Bill insisted that she was naked and scared. That was cool. It's kind of funny when you're an artist. You draw what you know. I begged my wife, dude, I cannot draw this foot. Can you please help me? And after, my fully clothed wife on the kitchen floor with her foot in my face, and it's my favorite part of the whole drawing. That's my foot. Dude, that's my foot. I come home to that foot every day. I'm a lucky dude. Dude, are we cool? Can we take some questions? Okay. All right, yeah, that would hit good. Hey, I don't know what you want to know. I'm willing to tell you anything outside of anything else about my wife. This has been amazing. This is so scary. I encourage any of you to get up here. Shock is the topic today. This is probably the most shocking thing I could possibly do. I've always wanted to check this off the list, just gnarly. And thank you so much, San Diego, for being here. Dude, I consider this the core San Diego. I'm fans of many of you out there. And dude, this is great. Thank you very much.